we are the pot of gold. We're the one that everybody wants. And they can retaliate, but it cannot be a successful retaliation because we just go cold turkey. We don't buy anymore. And if that happens, we win.
So is Canada going to get hit with those Trump tariffs on March 4th? Well, the question is still a bit up in the air. Hello, I'm Adrienne Batra. With me are Warren Kinsella and Brian Lilley. Warren, this has been a back and forth, back and forth. We got a 30-day pause on the Trump tariffs. We're coming up on that on March 4th. President Trump had a cabinet meeting recently, and he said April 2nd. And then now we hear again it's March 4th. So there's a lot of toing and froing on this. What's your advice?
I think it is his strategy. I have readers all the time saying to me, read Art of the Deal, read Art of the Deal. And it is in there, like just baffle them with bullshit, flood the zone, whatever analogy you want to use. So what he has a tendency to do, he's doing this now with Ukraine. Zelensky's supposed to be at the White House tomorrow to sign this minerals deal. We don't know if that's happening either. So I think there is method to his madness where he's just trying to overwhelm us with data points and rhetoric, and we can't figure out where we stand, and it softens us up to arrive at the position he wanted from us in the first place. So the advice I give to everybody now is pay attention to what Trump does, not what Trump says. What he does is way more important. React to that. And, I give credit to the country. Politicians of all stripes from east to west are doing all that they can to protect the country, and that's a good thing. And the country, to sound like Mary Poppins here, maybe, but I think it's kind of wonderful how the country has united, and people are proud of the flag again, and they're singing the anthem with gusto, and those are good things. And I think all of our politicians, notwithstanding their partisan differences, are all kind of saying the same thing, from Stephen Harper and Pierre Poilievre to Justin Trudeau and Jean Chrétien, and that's positive. But again, I think we should stop boxing shadows and just pay attention to what actually happens, not what we think is going to happen.
Well, on that point, Brian, the U.S. Secretary of Commerce, Howard Lutnick, who was just confirmed about a week ago, he will be the guy that is supposed to be responsible for implementing all these tariffs. He will be in charge of those sorts of big money issues. The External Revenue Service that President Trump wants, for example.
Yeah.
Lutnick is a thoughtful man. He's a bright man. He's a very successful man. He understands this stuff. He understands economies and these jurisdictional relationships. They both said something not quite in agreement yesterday, whereas Mr. Lutnick said, we're going to see if these countries have come back with, if they've satisfied the president on the issues of drugs and fentanyl and the border. We'll see how it goes. But then the president turns around and says, no, it's still happening on March 4th. And so I think Warren's point is taken, well taken. Watch what he does, not necessarily what he says. But some interesting things happened when you were down there in Washington just recently, too.
Yeah, there was, and Lutnick actually talked about this in his interview that he gave to Fox News, the possibility of coming after Canada over the GST. They are examining value-added taxes. They're examining the digital services tax, and in the executive order instructing Lutnick to look after that, they specifically had a reference to Canada on the digital services tax. On value-added taxes, they did not mention Canada. I know that they've been long irritated by some of the ways the European Union applies value-added taxes, which the GST is, but I wasn't sure if it applied to Canada. Lutnick made clear that he is annoyed at how the GST is applied to American goods. I've spoken to trade specialists, international taxation lawyers. They don't think that the U.S. has a case, but they may be able to put more tariffs on us. I mean, this is part of the problem with trying to keep track of the Trump tariffs and the tariff threats. There's so many of them. On digital services tax, which the Trudeau Liberals brought in, despite Biden warning them not to, and then the Biden administration took them to the USMCA saying it violates the trade agreement. Trump has outright said this has to go. You're targeting our tech industries to the tune of $500 million a year. Well, on that one, we are probably going to lose because of the way it's structured. It really only hits Google, Facebook, and the like. So the U.S. will have a valid reason to say that this tax is illegal. You've got to get rid of it. And if we don't, well, then we're going to get hit by tariffs. Then we've got the steel tariffs. So it is a moving machine. And I think Warren is absolutely right. Wait and see what he does and stop freaking out at what he says, because that's how you end up with, the NDP just being complete morons. Charlie Angus launching a petition to get rid of Elon Musk's citizenship. Jagmeet Singh says we should ban Donald Trump from being invited to the G7 in Kananaskis. This is not how you negotiate. Yeah, we can have all kinds of issues with how Trump is negotiating, but you don't counter that by being a baby throwing toys out of the pram.
So will March 4th be known as Tariff Tuesday? Well, we'll find out soon enough. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and go to the TorontoSun.com. You'll find commentary and coverage there you will not find anywhere else.